Stay safe.
Stay active.
And stay healthy.
I'm Mrs. Barrett from PASS, Physical Activity and Sports Specialist, and we hope you're keeping safe, active and healthy at home or at school. This PE lesson is aimed at children in reception classes, so early years foundation stage, and is one of our gymnastics lessons. In this particular PE lesson, the children are going to be looking at jumping skills. They are going to be learning to jump in lots of different ways and control their body when they land. For this particular gymnastics lesson, you won't need any specialist equipment, just a nice, clear, safe space to work in, where you're not going to bump into anything or knock anything over. Maybe a drink close by, because jumping can get quite thirsty work, and lots of enthusiasm. So if you'd like to pause the video there and make sure you have everything that you need. Welcome back, reception classes. Hopefully you've got a nice, clear space to work in, and then we can begin our gymnastics lesson. So like any PE lesson, we always start with a warm-up to make sure our body is ready for our PE lesson and ready for exercise. And we need to make sure our muscles are really nice and warm, because we're going to use them lots for jumping today. So our warm-up reception classes is going to be the bean game, which you may have played at school already. So there's lots of different types of beans. Some of beans we might eat. And some beans might be really yummy, and some beans might be a little bit yucky. What we're going to do is I'm going to call out different types of beans, and you're going to do actions or shapes with your body to match the bean that I call. So, for example, if I was to say runner bean, I like runner beans, what do you think you're going to do with your bodies? Good job, everybody. You might do some running on the spot like I'm doing, okay? Or you might do some running safely around the space that you're working in, okay? So good job, that's a really active one. If I call out runner bean, let's see you running on the spot or around the space. The next bean I might call is a jumping bean. These ones are difficult to catch because they're ever so bouncy. So what action do you think you're going to do if I call out jumping bean reception class? Yeah, you guessed it, it's going to be jumping. And you might be jumping up and down the spot. You might be jumping around the space, jumping in different directions. It's up to you. So that's what you're going to do for jumping. And we're going to explore more jumping later on. So we've got runner bean and we've got jumping bean. Now, if I say string bean, okay, these beans are really long and stretched. And so maybe you join me for some of our earlier gymnastics lesson where we're making stretch shapes with our bodies. So if I call out string bean, either laying down on the floor on your tummy or your back, or standing on your feet, I want you to stretch your body to make it really, really long and narrow. So it might look like this, okay? This is my string bean. My arms are above my head, my legs are together. You might even come up onto your tiptoes to really stretch your body. Or you might prefer to make your string bean on the floor, on your back or your tummy, stretching your body to make it really, really long. So that's our string bean reception classes. We're going to try one more. If I say broad bean, broad is another word for really big or wide, guys. So can you make your body really big and wide like we did in some of our earlier gymnastics lessons? Good job. I can see some people making their big wide shapes on their feet standing up. So it might look a bit like this, like a star shape, big and wide. You might make your big wide shape laying down on your backs or on your tummies. You might even make it on your hands and your feet, making your body nice and wide like a broad bean. Good job, everybody. Try to be as creative as you can, but make sure you're keeping your body controlled, because I don't want to see these beans wobbling around too much. Okay, so far we've got 4 different beans. Hopefully you can remember the action or the shape that matches the beans that I say. Okay, let's see what you can do. Let's begin with runner beans, guys. Good job. So running on the spot or running around the space that you're in. Well done, everybody. Lots of good runner beans. And broad bean. Make your body big and wide, maybe standing up, maybe on the lower level on the floor, maybe on your hands and your feet. Good job. And jumping beans, jumping up and down, maybe jumping around the space. Can you jump in different directions for your jumping beans? Good job, everybody. String beans, what was that one? Making your body really long and stretched, maybe on your feet, maybe on the floor, on your back or your tummy. Stretch those bodies, make them really long. Jumping beans. That's it, guys, up and down. Bending your knees as you land. Well done, jumping beans. And broad bean. Make your body big and wide. Stretch those arms, stretch those legs. And runner beans. Running around or on the spot. Good job, everybody. Jumping beans. Let's really get that heart beating faster. Well done, everyone. Jumping up and down. And string beans. Make your body stretched and long. Good job, everybody. So hopefully you were able to remember those 4 different types of bean. We're going to add one more bean in, and hopefully you're going to like this one. If I say jelly bean reception class, you're going to wibble and wobble your body like jelly on a plate. Do you want to show me what the jelly bean looks like? I like jelly beans, they're yummy. Lots of colours, lots of flavours. So that's our jelly bean. And we're going to add that to the 4 that we already know. Okay, jelly beans. Let's see you wiggling and wobbling your body, curving your body. String beans. Stretch your body long. Jelly beans. String beans. Runner beans. Go, 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 go. Well done, everybody. Moving around the space or on the spot. Jumping beans. Up and down, all around your space. Jelly beans. Well done, everybody. That's my favourite. And broad beans. Make your body big and wide. And I'd like you to stay as a broad bean reception classes because we're going to stretch our muscles to make sure they're nice and warm. So can you make your broad bean on your feet and stretch your arms and legs out to the side like a giant starfish? Good job, guys. Try and move those fingers as far away from each other and those toes as far away from each other without losing your balance, so keeping still. Good job, everybody. Now show me that string bean again, guys. Good job. Can you come up onto your tiptoes, stretching your fingers up as far as they go? Good job. Okay, now keeping your legs straight, can you stretch down to the floor to curve your body? We made curve shapes in our earlier lessons. Well done, everyone. Okay, can we draw a circle with our hips or our waist? Well done. Can you go the other way? Good job. Are you copying me? Okay, should we draw some circles with another part of our body? So we draw some circles with our wrists, guys. So I've got 2 circles. I wonder if we can make it 3 circles by doing our foot or our ankle as well. See if you can do it staying really still. That's tricky. Should we swap legs? Let's see if you can balance on that leg. Ooh, while making 2 circles with your wrist. Tricky stuff. And relax. Give yourself a jelly bean. Well done, guys. Okay, now can you gently tilt your ear to one of your shoulders to stretch out your neck muscles, guys? Well done. Big deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, and then gently touching your ear over to your other shoulder. Well done, everybody. Let's just roll our shoulders, so draw some circles with our shoulders going backwards. You can get them going forwards as well. Well done, everybody. Okay, hopefully you're feeling nice and warm now and your muscles are nice and ready for some more jumping. If you want to pause the video there and grab a quick drink of water, and then we'll get ready for our next activity. Welcome back, reception classes. Hopefully you're all now ready for some more PE, and we're really going to be looking at jumping. Now, before we think about jumping really high or jumping really far or jumping in different ways, we need to make sure we all know how to land safely, because that's the most important thing when we are jumping. So look at your body and think about what part of your body you're going to land on. So once you've jumped high in the air, what part of your body is going to touch the ground first? Now, hopefully, reception class, you're saying to somebody at home or at school that it's your feet that land on the floor. And if you did, well done to you, because we should always land on our feet when we are jumping. We don't want to land on our bottoms or any other part of our body. So we're going to all try and do a motorbike landing. So I want you to imagine you're all sitting on a motorbike. So think about what sitting on a motorbike might look like. Okay, so if I was sitting on a motorbike, I'd have my knees bent and my feet apart because my motorbike would be in the middle. So my legs either side with my knees bent. I would stick my bottom out as if I'm sitting on a chair, so I'm sitting on my motorbike. Okay, and then when you have a motorbike, you have like a normal bike, you'd have to hold the handlebars. So my arms are going to come out in front as if I'm holding my motorbike handles. Still keeping my feet apart, still keeping my knees bent, still sticking my bottom out. Okay, and we're going to have our eyes forward, looking at the road ahead. Can everybody show me their motorbike landing? So feet apart, knees bent, bottom sticking out as if you're sitting on your chair, holding your handlebars, eyes on the road ahead. Well done. So when we do any jumping, we're going to try and make sure we bend our knees when we land, stick our bottom out, and have our arms out in front so we don't wobble too much. Right, guys, we're going to have a go to see if we can jump before we do our motorbike landing now. And I'm sure you guys are really, really good at jumping. So we're going to see how high we can jump and land in our motorbike. So can you jump really high and land in your motorbike? How high can you jump, reception classes? Wow, some of you guys are jumping so high, you're almost touching the ceiling. Brilliant. Don't forget to bend your knees when you land and think about that motorbike. Some really high jumping, reception classes. Now, I wonder what we need to do with our arms if we're going to jump really, really high. So I can already see lots of you stretching your arms up tall like a string bean when you're in the air. And that means you can jump really, really high. Good job. Right, you guys are so good at jumping high. I now want to see if you can jump far. So for this one, you're going to start one side of your space and see how far you can jump, still landing in that motorbike. Okay, make sure you've got a nice clear space before you take off because you don't want to land on something. So how far can you jump? Wow, you guys are so good at jumping. You're jumping really far. And I think about what those arms can do to help us to jump far as well. Awesome. If you want to pause the video there and practice your high jumps and your far jumps, maybe with a bit of practice you can jump even higher or even further. Welcome back, reception classes. So I saw you there making sure you landed in your motorbike and always had your feet touching the floor first. And you could jump really high and really far. Now that's just only one way that we can jump. There are so many other ways that we can jump. Now in our last gymnastics lesson, we were travelling like lots of different animals. I wonder if you can remember any of the animals that we travelled like. Maybe you remembered the bear crawl or the slippery snake. Or maybe you remember being the tall giraffe on your tiptoes. Okay, now some animals that we meet travel by jumping. I wonder if you can tell anybody at home or school what animals you know that move around and travel by jumping. So jumping animals, how do they move from one side to the other? Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to see if you can pretend to be any of those animals that use jumping to move around. And I wonder if you thought of any of the animals that I'm going to show you in a minute. So pause the video there and have a go at travelling around your space, jumping like different animals. Wow, so many different jumping animals I saw there. I wonder if you came up with any of the animals that I'm about to show you. Maybe there's some that are the same, and maybe there's some new animals that you didn't come up with, so they're different to yours. And I wonder if you could have a go at copying my different animals that jump. So the first type of animal that I thought that jumped was a frog. I wonder if you thought of a frog too, reception classes. Now, if I'm going to pretend to be a frog, I'm going to use my hands and my feet to jump. And I'm going to try and use my hands and my feet at the same time. Now, frogs get really low and then jump really high. So this is what I think my frog should look like. I'm going to start low on my hands and my feet, and I've got my knees bent, and then I'm going to jump up tall and land again on my hands and my feet. Jump up tall, land on my hands and my feet. Can you copy me, reception classes, and jump like a frog using your hands and your feet at the same time? Wow. And I wonder if you can jump really high or really far like a frog. Good job, everybody. Now, as well as jumping and moving like a frog, I also thought of some other animals that move around by jumping. And the next animal I thought about was a kangaroo. I wonder if you thought of a kangaroo too, because they have to jump or bounce about. Now, my kangaroo jump was starting on 2 feet and landing on 2, but seeing if I could do a few jumps in a row, so maybe 2 or 3 kangaroo bounces or jumps in a row. So have a look at my kangaroo and see if you can copy me. So I'm going to start on 2 feet and I'm going to land on 2, and then I'm going to do it again. And then I might come back in this direction. So I'm doing lots of jumps in a row, starting on 2 feet and landing on 2 feet. I wonder if you can copy my kangaroo, reception classes. Don't forget to bend those knees in your motorbike when you land. Wow, lots of jumping kangaroos. Maybe you can jump in different directions too, like a kangaroo. Well done, everybody. Right, I'm now thinking of another animal that jumps to move around, and that is a bunny rabbit. Now, we had to go at doing a bunny hop in our last gymnastics lesson, but maybe you might have forgotten how that one moved. So I'm going to show you, and you can have a go at copying. So for our bunny rabbit, we're going to move 2 hands first out in front, and then both feet together. Hands, feet, hands, feet, hands, feet, hands, feet. See if you can copy my rabbit. Hands first, then both feet, then hands again. See if you can do it, reception classes. Can you move using your bunny hop? Wow, lots of speedy bunnies. Try and keep those knees together if you can, guys, when you're jumping or hopping like a bunny rabbit. Well done. Wow. So I've now thought of 3 different animals that travel by jumping. We had our kangaroos, we had our bunnies, and we had our froggies. So I wonder if those ones that you came up with, or maybe you come up with some different animals that jump. And I wish I could see them. Now, I wonder if you can remember those 3 different animals and the ways that they jump. So if I called out frogs, do you think you could show me how a frog jumped? Have you remembered it's 2 hands and 2 feet at the same time? Well done, everybody. What about kangaroos? Can you remember how the kangaroo jump, reception classes? Can you do lots of jumps in a row? 2 feet to 2 feet. Wow, lots of bouncing kangaroos. How about our bunnies? That was the tricky one. Can you hop or jump like a bunny rabbit? Hands first, then feet. Hands first, then feet. Kangaroos! Jump like a kangaroo! Well done, everybody. Good kangaroo jumping. Bunnies! Show me those bunny jumps or bunny hops. Well done. And frogs! Can you jump like a frog? Hands and feet at the same time. And kangaroos! Wow, awesome jumping, everybody. You've worked so hard. Pause the video at any time to grab a drink if you need it, because jumping is really tiring. Wow. Okay, we're going to look at 2 more jumps. We're going to look at a hop and we're going to look at an astronaut. or a spaceman. So I wonder if you could show me your best hops reception classes. A hop is 1 foot to the same foot, okay? I'm doing it on my left foot, but you might also have a go at hopping on your right foot, okay? And if you can copy me hopping up and down, maybe you can see if you can hop around the space, okay? So moving different directions by hopping around your space. Well done. Can you hop side to side? Wow, I'm going to try it on the other leg as well, hopping side to side. Wow. What about hopping forwards and backwards? Can you hop forwards and back? That's a tricky one too. Wow. And show me that hopping around your space again. Really good. Remember, if that leg gets tired, you can always swap it to the other leg. Wow, some awesome hopping, guys. Right, I said the other type of jump was going to be our astronaut or spaceman. So for this one, you've got to imagine you're travelling on the moon. And we're going to do really big strides or leaps. So watch first before you do. The first leg is going to start on the floor, and then I'm going to swap legs and do big strides, like I'm bouncing on the moon, like an astronaut or a spaceman. Can you copy me doing really big strides reception class? Wow, awesome striding. Brilliant, guys. You would make awesome astronauts. Okay, so we've now had to go at hops and strides. I've got one final challenge for you, reception class. Do you think you can do it? I'm not sure. Can you show me your best star shape? Think about those broad beams that we did earlier, making our body really wide. Okay, so make your body into a really good star shape. And do you think you could do your star shape on your feet? This is what my star looks like. Brilliant. Okay, and what we're going to try and do is make that shape in the air. So we're going to turn our star shape into a star jump. Okay, so we're going to start with our feet near together, and then we're going to do a star in the air, and then land in our motorbike. And then we can have another go, star in the air, land in our motorbike. Can you have a go at doing a star in the air and then landing in your motorbike? You have to be super fast at this one to do it really well. Wow, you're doing an awesome job. It might take a little bit of practice, this. It's something you could practice at home and challenge other people at home to see if they can do really wide or really high star jumps. Wow. Okay, right, we're going to finish with a cool down reception classes because you guys have been working so hard and jumping can be really tiring. So I wonder if you can make your body into a really tiny ball for me. So make your body really small. I'm going to tuck my knees up to my chest. Okay, making my body really small and hugging those legs. Good job, everybody. Okay, now I wonder if you could do the same small shape, but this time on our back. So can you rock onto your back and still hug those legs in small? Keep that head under. Brilliant. Do you think you can come back up to your bottom again? Hug those legs in small. And then gently rock onto your back. Hug those legs in small. Let's have one more up onto our feet, onto our bottom, and hug those legs in small. Really nice, guys. Should we go into our string beans, up onto our feet with our arms above our heads, and see how high you can reach? Can you touch your ceiling with your fingers, guys? You might need to come onto your tiptoes for this one. Really good. And down. Okay, now I want you to stretch over to a window that you might see in the room. Anywhere that it might be a window, try and keep your legs straight and your arms straight, stretching over to a window. Good job. And now can you stretch over to a door that you might see in your room? Stretching those arms, stretching those legs, keeping them really straight. And one last one, we're going to stretch over to a table this time. So can you see a table in your room? Stretch your arms, stretch your legs. And let's see those jelly beans. Give your body a good wobble. Guys, you have been awesome today. Hopefully you've really enjoyed doing some jumping and you've made sure that you can land really safely in those motorbikes. Maybe you could show somebody at home your motorbike landing and they can see what that looks like. And hopefully you might be able to show some people at home all the different jumps that you've learned today. Guys, until next time, stay safe, stay active, stay healthy.